So glad you could join us today for our Art Center Live. As always, we have a very special guest. She's one of my favorite artists. She's been involved with the Art Center for a very long time. Inez Hudson is joining us today. Inez is an artist and instructor. She was the former chairperson of our gallery committee, and right now she is in our members only art show, and we have brought her pieces with us today so we can talk about the pieces that are in the show. If you don't know, our members only show has 49 artists represented, and there are 87 pieces of artwork in all mediums. It's really spectacular. Please come on down and check it out because there is really something for everyone, whether you choose to peruse or whether you choose to purchase something. Hi Inez, how are you?
Hi, Hyla, I'm great. I appreciate you having me today.
Oh, I always love having a chance to speak with you, my friend. Um, we're going to start with the piece that's right here next to me. Can you tell us a little bit about this piece? And this piece is for sale if you see it and you're interested. It'll be going right back on the gallery wall when we finish here today. Can you tell us the title and the medium and a little bit about what inspired you when you were creating it?
This is simply called Pink Hibiscus. A friend had been posting a lot of photos of her various hibiscus on Facebook, and I loved all of them. They were so unusual and so different, so I got her permission to paint them. And this was one of them. It's a double pink hibiscus, but I love the little hint of yellow that's in it, the pale yellow. So I decided to try something different than my normal oil painting and got out some artist sculpting paste and decided to sculpt the piece. So it is totally sculpted with palette knife. So it has a 3D effect. I did several, I did 2 hibiscus, and then I did several seahorses and starfish. Now, they were a lot of fun, but they're all painted with acrylic. So they're totally different from my normal detail work. There is detail in this, but it's different, totally different. So that is basically the story behind it. I started working on them probably in February of 20.
Oh, wow.
And it was a time that, we were all just beginning to hear about COVID and things getting locked down and not being able to go anywhere. And I needed to do something different. I needed to have something that would just totally take my mind off everything. And this really served the purpose. So that's where it all stemmed from.
But I think the people who are joining us today can't really appreciate when you're talking about the texture. There is a great deal of texture, which makes it so interesting. I didn't realize that it was painted with acrylic because, yes, I always think of you as an oil painter. Even the background is all done in acrylic too?
Yes, totally. Yes, everything's acrylic paint.
Well, it is a beautiful piece and a nice size because you could put it pretty much anywhere. It's not something that's going to take up a whole wall. And it's exquisite. And as I said to my friends out there, it's going right back in the gallery as soon as we're done. It's interesting, Inez, you pointed out sort of people's burgeoning awareness of COVID-19 a year ago. I mean, it's hard to imagine. It is exactly a year ago. March 16th was the day we closed the Art Center because of what we were hearing and our concern for the people, our students, our patrons, everybody else. We closed it thinking we'd be closed for 8 weeks, that we'd be opening in May, and we actually didn't open again until June. But we were lucky we were able. I know there are other arts organizations that were shuttered far longer than we were. So we are grateful that we got a chance to open up and continue to do what we do and open shows and have our gift gallery open and at least make every effort to run some classes for people. So we feel lucky. But yes, it was a year ago today that we closed the doors.
Well,
Any which way, on to more cheerful things. I want to talk a little bit about the piece behind me, and I know that this piece is not for sale. I do know this is an oil painting, and can you tell us a little bit about that piece?
yes, my husband passed away last January, and I wanted to paint something to just commemorate his life. So I went around the house and gathered up several things that had meaning to him and represented different stages of his life, things that he saved over the years, and put them together in a still life. The photo is of him and my son when they flew back into Canada on a fishing trip. And that was a very special time for the two of them. The wooden box that the few things are sitting on is a little nail keg from his woodworking business. My husband was a woodworker and wood pattern maker and computer design person for GM. He loved to go duck hunting, so I have his goose call standing on that box. There's also a little baseball, and you would never know it was a baseball because when he was a child, or teenager probably, he and his friends were playing ball in the backyard and they lost the ball. They couldn't find it. And then several years later, lightning hit the big maple tree. And when he went to help his dad clean up the yard, they found this baseball. It had landed in the crook of the tree. And so here this is this ball that's just so strange looking. So I had to put that in there. And then I have his favorite video, Shawshank Redemption. And I have one of the awards that he won from GM, which is the little glass piece. The canoe he made when he was a boy on a fishing trip in Canada with his parents. I have a little level there because he always used a level for everything. It's an antique level that he had. And then I have his calipers from work and an old measuring tape that he had that I have no idea where he got it, but he always kept it. And that's the story behind it. It represents everything about him that I look at that painting, and the memories in each thing are so specific that it means a great deal to me and to my son.
Well, we are very grateful that you saw fit to let us put it on our walls for people to have a chance to see. Many of us here at the Art Center, of course, knew your husband, and always in our hearts, never forgotten. And it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece. Now, I know you've been a member for a long time, Inez. I mean, how many member shows is this for you? Can you even guess how many member shows you've taken part in here?
Oh my goodness. I haven't been in every one, but as soon as I joined the Art Center in 1992, I entered my first member show and have been entering almost every year since then. So I'm not going to do the math, but
it's quite a few years.
I hate to think about how long it's been, but it's been a good long time.
Yeah, like, oh gosh, just shy of 30 years maybe of coming and putting art on the walls of this little gallery. And having been involved really for quite some time here at the Art Center, what do you think is the importance? I mean, I know when I first got here, obviously I knew that we did a member show, and we have moved the timing on it. When I first got here, we were doing it in November, I think, and we really felt it was important to move it. We've done it in February, and now we're sort of looking at March because it's a nice long month to give it some time. And usually it's a very robust show because we have such incredible member artists, and we're always adding more. So we have lots of new work that comes in. What do you think, as an artist who's participated for many years, why is the member show important?
The member show allows every individual member that does create any kind of art to show their work and to maybe they don't consider themselves professionals, and so they never show nobody ever gets to see their work except their family and their close friends. I think it's very important for even beginning artists to join, because it helps build their confidence. A lot of people, when they start painting, are very afraid to let people see their work because they're afraid it will be critiqued, not in a good way. And I think the members show allows people to get over that fear and to actually hear feedback that is good and positive.
I could not agree with you more, Inez. And I know certainly I used social media to encourage lots of artists who may be showing their work on social media, which is now a great way that people are sharing their work that's come out of this. Not that they didn't before, but more so. And to say, okay, well, I'm seeing it here on Facebook. What are you going to be entering in the show? And indeed, some of the people who said, no, 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 have their work here in the show right now. So that's very exciting. Now, you've got some beautiful work behind you. Can you tell us a little bit about the artwork that's behind you right now?
Yes, the piece I have on my easel is the piece that we just worked on in my last virtual class with the Art Center. This photograph up above is what the students worked from, and everybody did the same piece. This isn't quite finished, but it's far enough along that it gives people a good idea as to how much they can complete in that 4-week session. So the students did send me photos of their work, and I guess I'm amazed. Every time I see what they do, I'm amazed, because virtual teaching is so different from in-house teaching. But we have a very small class, and they're getting a lot of feedback and a lot of attention that way. But that's what this piece is.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The piece behind me is a piece that was done for a fundraiser for the Eagle Foundation on the island. So I just felt that was kind of interesting to show this piece, because the foundation, I'm sure, is still ongoing, and the eagles are protected. It's wonderful to see them. I have them here on my pond occasionally. So I just kind of wanted to show that to people, because it's one of the things that the Art Center does will hold exhibits for other organizations and work with other organizations.
Yes, we do. We certainly try to do that. I have to say, you discussed the virtual classes, and that's something that was brand new this year. We did a pilot program in July, spent August putting it together for the teachers who were willing to give it a go, and launched in September, and we still are offering these classes, and we suspect that this will become a part of our regular programming. It does enable a lot of our students who really connect with their instructors, and Inez is one of them, to be able to continue to study with that instructor, even if they spend part of their year someplace else, if they go north for the summer. So we're excited at what that's going to bring, and Inez has been one of our outstanding virtual teachers. So we thank you for being one of our pioneers, Inez. And you were talking about students and people who are at an earlier stage or emerging in their career, or just emerging in what is an avocation in the arts. The show that will come up after our member show goes down is our adult student show. So I'm curious, with the students that you have, I know it's a small group. Do you think there's any chance that we'll see any of their work?
One of the students is a resident of Marco Island, so there's a very good chance she'll be entering something. The others are from Ohio and from up near Tampa. So I think that's probably not a possibility for them to enter because most people don't like to ship their work down and then have to have it shipped back. That's probably not going to happen, but I always encourage all of my students, whether they're in a current class or have taken a class from me in the past, if it's within the allotted time frame, whether it's 2 years or 3 years for a student to be able to enter one of their pieces, I'm always encouraging them to enter. I send email reminders to them to let them know in hopes that they will enter something.
Well, we reached out to our students because we did have a smaller group of students who were on site taking classes this year, but I've gotten a really positive response, and our adult students are looking forward to showing their work in a live show. Last year we did it virtually for them, and it was done in an ebook that was created by our designer, Miriam Creel, and it was quite lovely, but they really want a live exhibit and an opening reception, so we are going to do it, and enough of them have contacted me. So I think it's going to be a really great show in April. And with that being said, Inez, I want to let people know about a few things, other things that are going to be coming up here at the Marco Island Center for the Arts. Like this week, on Thursday, March 18th, we are going to have Kindred Spirit, a bluegrass duo. They are marvelous, are going to be performing in our courtyard as part of our musical interlude series. There are still tickets available, and you can get them by going to www.marcoislandart.org or give us a call, 239-394-4221. And for our music lovers, we didn't book out as far ahead this year because we really weren't quite sure what was going to be going on in the world, but we have a lot of people who are our music patrons, and I know that we have a lot of jazz lovers out there. So we've added 2 more concerts, both of them jazz concerts. On April 22nd, you can look forward to Svetlana, who's coming in from New York. She is an amazing jazz singer. She's coming with her trio. And then on May 6th, first time ever, we're going to have a album launch party and concert for an artist whose name is Jack Brandville. He is a jazz saxophonist, and I know we didn't get Peter and Will Anderson down here this year, so we've gotten another saxophone player. His album is going to drop at the beginning of August, and he's going to start his tour for that new album right here at the Marco Island Center for the Arts, out in our courtyard, so I hope that you can join us. Tickets are available for both, and we look forward to seeing you. And last but not, and in addition, we will also be having our Cars as Art for 2021 on April 3rd. So if you have family who's come in for the Easter holiday weekend, have them come down, come join us. There are going to be some extraordinary vintage cars. I can't believe, I think this is our 8th year of hosting this event. So we're going to be here from 10 to 2 on Saturday, April 3rd with Cars as Art. And now, last but not least, we've talked a lot about our space time capsule, and we are on a 10-month journey to fill it now this year. We have extended the deadline. 2020 wasn't probably the year we wanted to be filling our time space capsule. So please, our theme for this month is, what will the place you live in look like in 2070? So you can create a picture, you can write about what you think it's going to look like, but send in your entries because we'll do a drawing at the end of the month, and there's some really great prizes. So please come share, and everybody who enters, your work will go into this space-time capsule, and you'll become a part of the project, and you'll be launching, well, your voice into the future and creating your own special legacy. Inez, thank you so much for joining us. It is always such a treat to get to speak with you, and thank you for sharing your beautiful artwork with us. It is absolutely lovely, and I hope that my friends who are out there will come down to the Marco Island Center for the Arts and see Inez's work and all of the other artists' work that are there. Inez, it's just special. You were one of the first people to welcome me when I got here. Really making me feel.
Thank you for having me, and you've done an amazing job as executive director.
Thank you.
And a lot of very difficult times.
Well, again, something, we get through it all here because we are an art family. As are you out there. You are all part of our art family, and we strive every day to be your art home. We'll see you on Thursday with another great artist talk. Thank you, everybody. Bye, Inez.
Bye.